How are people cultivating their knowledge of their own society? Is TV really shaping people's way of thinking in a manner that generation after generation are becoming more and more afraid of reality? It is known that through time things have changed, and some have changed more than others have. New inventions and new discoveries have improved and even saved the life of millions of people around the world. Many things have were through to being possible before now are possible thanks to the technology revolution and the scientific progress. Not only the quality of life has changed, but also the way people live, think, invest, tell their story, and also how they spend their time. One example of this is the change in how stories are told now. In ancient times, people used to tell their story to their kids and to kids to other kids and so on. Teaching and experiences were passed through generations face to face by oral means nowadays. Is differently done. Due to increased use of technology, parents and children barely speak to each other, so now they are now listening to the stories about their world from their relatives, but from the media, especially TV and the internet. Sadly, not everything on TV or the internet happens to be the truth. Not everything is real, and the fact that kids and even adults believe in what they see or hear on their news have created a massive long-term effect on people. This is the reason that led to the birth of the cultivation theory, known also as cultivation analysis. The theory examines the long-term effect that television exposure can have on the viewers, and several research made based on the theory have shown that viewers tend to shape their view of the world according to what they see and watch on TV, especially on the news, causing them anxiety, fear, and insecurity, and even leading them to consumerism. The stories, dramas, and cartoons presented on TV are cultivating on people the mean world syndrome, a syndrome that increases with amount of exposure to TV and the media in general. In this respect, Cohen and Wyman state, the more time people spend living in television world, the more likely they are to believe social reality portrayed on TV. As a result, people think they always are at risk and that they are not secure even in their homes, all due to the violence and crime that is constantly shown through the TV screen. And even when those effects have been clearly identified through research in people who usually spend a lot of time watching TV, this result should not be decisive in deciding whether TV exposure is good or bad for people, since there are other important elements besides TV that should be taken into account when analyzing people's behavior and ways of thinking, such as their family background, former experiences in life, genre, social class, level of education, among others.
Therefore, TV should not be regarded as an enemy of learning or as an enemy for getting a better understanding of the world, because it can be used as a tool for reflection, helping people widen their view of their surroundings in a much more enhancing way that allows teachers and parents to mix fun and teaching without losing sight of the main purpose, which is learning. As a channel have increased, the body of TV programs and shows have increased to switching in that way viewers' preference for entertainment and learning. Now, there is at least a TV per house and some classroom as well. But how can TVs be good for students? Television attracts the attention of students without regard of their age, and it is considered to be fun and interesting. Therefore, it constitutes a good tool to engage students to learn through what they see and hear. It also gives students the opportunity to know other cultures, ways of living and thinking. However, the use of TV has to be measured in quantity and in quality according to the student age and the aim of the class. allowing students to watch TV, a documental, news, cartoons, drama, or a movie, should have a clear objective that ends up in learning and discovering something new or reinforcing a previous learning process. Nevertheless, using television as a tool in the learning process will still generate questions because if TV is shaping people's view of life in a way that is leading them to live in a fear and anxiety, how could students stop cultivating that perspective when still watching TV? If then, the story and information given by the media are mainly controlled by conglomerates of people who have nothing to tell but a lot to sell. And if the reality shown to the public is manipulated by marketing, so will teachers also manipulate the types of programs they show to their students, becoming manipulative as well? In order to answer to this question, it has to be said that it's necessary to help students develop critical thinking skills so they can overcome the actual issues society is suffering from, such as fear and anxiety. It is essential that students, no matter what their age they are, learn how to differentiate reality from fiction and know how to react to the different situations that happen every day and everywhere. They need to recognize a healthy decision from a not so healthy one and be capable of managing the information they receive from the media in a way that they can build up their knowledge of the world and not give into the mean world syndrome that has already affected so many people. In addition, teachers will not have to manipulate the information of programs they allow their students to watch in class, for their students will have the capacity to think in a very critical way. Whether they are exposed to the news, cartoons, soap operas, or any other kind of show, although teachers will have to select carefully the programs their students are going to watch during class according to their student age and according to the course-related content, so the class will not end up being aimless. As teacher Jordan Catapano wrote in his article called How Television Can Actually Help Learning, our job as educators is not to automatically discredit anything. Instead, we are to show students how to think critically about any medium of communication and encourage them to make healthy, edifying decisions about what they choose to consume. As a conclusion, it would be said that the main idea is not to hide people from the media or avoid exposure to it, but prepare them to make a stand and think critically since their early years. It is not about to stop watching TV, but to stop cultivating fear and anxiety. It is about changing perspective and analyzing the situation and advertisement before buying anything or believing something said in the news. If TV is shaping people's way of thinking and making them powerful from generation after generation, then it is time for people to reshape their minds and become aware of the importance of being critical.